Hello there, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes, where we cover the stars and numbers, the Astrology and Numerology forecast for the week or the next period of time. In this case, it'll be for the week. We're going to look at a beautiful couple of transits between Mars and Pluto and the Sun and Uranus. And this is really welcome to have something very harmonious and beautiful and easygoing after all the intensity of the Aquarius stellium that involved 6 planets lining up. During the Aquarius new moon, we had the moon as well, but 5 planets for several weeks: Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, and the Sun. And now that Mercury has stationed direct and we have these 2 lovely transits coming up, there is this respite, this moment of looking at things or feeling things in a very pleasurable, calm way. A door is opening up to remind us of the importance of silence and calmness and joy and beauty. So today we're going to dive into the importance of using your sensory perception and how you have this amazing tool to stay calm and remain happy in the midst of all the uncertainty and changes. So let's look first at Mars trine Pluto. This is exact on Wednesday, the 24th of February, though it impacts us beyond that date as well. And Mars and Pluto are considered the co-rulers of Scorpio, Mars being the original ruler and Pluto being assigned to Scorpio upon its discovery in the last century. So they're very passionate planets. Scorpio is a very passionate, deep sign. It's a water sign. And when Mars trines Pluto, there's the most harmonious expression between these 2 planets. Mars has this goal-infused energy, this direction. It wants to achieve something and as quickly as possible. And Pluto is about the empowerment through transformation, through purging. So you can get tremendous results with this incredible trine. And it raises not only your desire to achieve and focus on successful outcomes, but also it brings a sense of being direct, being just completely in integrity, being assertive when you need to, stating your case. You know, Pluto is transforming you so that only the truth comes through. And Scorpio has that stinger, the sign that these 2 rule has that stinger that goes straight to the truth. And that's why sometimes a scorpionic response can seem incisive and sometimes even, to the point of being hurtful, the stinger, right? You're stung. But the point really is to be completely honest about what is being uncovered. Now, the sensuality factor is greatly heightened as well. Sexually, sensually, you are just feeling very strong, you feel magnetic, you feel attractive, and so you can have a wonderful impact on others as well. So be conscious of this empowerment that you feel within you, because you want, of course, everything to be for the highest good of everyone and not for it to be an egoic direction that you take. So you can uncover secrets during this time with Mars trine Pluto that help you set the record straight. And as usual, the truth shall set you free. That is the motto of the 21st century. We are in 2021. 21 being the number that the ancient Egyptians designated as the truth shall set you free. So this particular meetup of Mars and Pluto is very indicative of what is actually happening in general this year. Now, the second transit happens the following day on the 25th of February. And what's so exciting about this transit is it unleashes a quadruple 7 code, 7777. And that's because the Sun and Uranus create a sextile to each other, which is another harmonious aspect in astrology, at 7 degrees, Uranus in Taurus, the Sun in Pisces. And so they're both at 7 degrees. And we are in a 7 universal month in February, and this happens on the 25th of February, and 2 plus 5 equals 7, so it's a 7 universal day. So that's how we get that quadruple 7 code. Now 7 is all about reflection and listening, and this is part of the topic we're going to go into today. So this activation of this number means that the idea of the horizontal line at the top of the 7 coming down. So I'm going to do it your direction. It's reversed for me. So that horizontal line represents inspiration. So heavenly inspiration, divine inspiration, cosmic inspiration. And it's coming down in a aha moment, in an where you're just intuiting the truth, right? So people who have 7s in their blueprint tend to be very much into discovering the truth, gathering wisdom, great researchers, love to read, and if they're evolved, really listening to their intuitive hunches, right? So this transit with Uranus being the planet of the Aquarian age and the planet of freedom and change and reform, is going to excite you to make new plans and ignite your sense of independence, freedom, versatility, being inquisitive, being open to out-of-the-box, politically incorrect, unique perspectives and experiences. And it heightens your higher mind, your intelligence. It helps you understand how to connect the dots, for example, in the esoteric sciences like astrology and numerology. And it heightens your ability to be inventive, to be the inventor and the explorer. So that curiosity is wonderful because it brings more insights and more understanding and more perspective. You know, Aquarius is the sign, the sign that Uranus rules. Aquarius is the sign of us joining together collectively, but also not losing our uniqueness in the process. So this beautiful aspect between Uranus and the Sun, while the Sun is in Pisces, which is so dreamy and spiritual, and Uranus in Taurus, which is very much a grounding of this energy, meaning you can make it practical, helps you uncover missing links that you may not have considered before. So let's look at, well, what is it in you that is spurring you on to make changes right now? Are you feeling that? How about looking at how you look, how you address negative feelings? So how do we engage with our mind? Is it the higher mind of inspiration, or is it the lower mind that is only meant to be used for practical purposes? So are you listening to your negative feelings? Meaning the longer you engage in thoughts that produce anger, fear, anxiety, stress, the longer those feelings will last and the more powerful the hold will be on you. And the strength of those negative feelings are directly correlated to how strongly and how long you've accepted and bought into the belief of the story that they create. Because there's always a literal storyline that the mind creates, right? This untrue, imaginary storyline that gets your feelings hooked into the thought. And so it's like a hamster wheel, because those feelings convince you then, based on that story that the mind creates, that there's a reason you feel that way, because the story always gives the reason. Stories are very powerful. Otherwise, why would you feel that strongly? So you feel that way precisely because you put all your trust in your thoughts. And we're now at the end of Mercury retrograde. We had this time to reflect. We're now into this Pluto trine, Mars, beautiful meetup of sensual connection. So we're going to really look at, what does that mean? How can that take us out of being so caught up in our mind stories, right? The hamster wheel of non-reality, fictional reality. I mean, there's no fictional reality, but it's fiction. So you feel this way because you put all your trust in your thoughts, not because the thoughts are true, but because your feelings that are attached to the story that your thoughts create are making it seem as if it's true. So what's interesting is when we hold on to our mind and that thought stream, it's another way of Mars expressing itself too, right? Mars can get impatient. Mars wants the answer now. And Mars wants to rush to the goal line, and your thoughts instantly appear. So it's like an instant answer. Your thoughts will be there, and you'd rather follow your thought stream than take the extra little moment to listen. And that's sort of the silence between the notes in music, the silence between the incessant thinking. That is where the magic lies. That is where divinity comes through. And that's where the sensuality comes in. So Pluto trine Mars is very, very sensual. Scorpio is sensual. This is a water element, right? They help you feel your body, Mars and Pluto. They help you feel your pulse, your heart, every part of you. Most people don't realize that it's the thoughts that is behind your feelings. It's not circumstances. Okay, it's not circumstances, because you have a choice on how to respond to circumstances. You know, everybody responds differently to the same circumstance. So you can listen to the ego's spin on the circumstance, usually a story that's weaved to tell you how to feel about the circumstance, right? Or you can be present in that moment, in that circumstance, so inspiration guides you and inspires you, right? So it's only your thoughts that fuel that story, and you get attached emotionally to that story. So the story could be, you can believe you're not lovable, and so that makes you sad or depressed. Or you believe that someday you'll be destitute, and that will terrify you. So here's the thing. The mind is so limited. The mind, like I said, is designed to help you through the practicalities of living on Earth, being a human being. And the mind is trying to figure out the future, but the mind is not able to do that. The future is always a mystery. It is the unknown. So the mind will just make things up. And that is true. So you just need to move from living inside your head, which is the world of concepts. Concepts take the passion out of life. Mars and Pluto, this gorgeous trine, is all about passion. And your senses, which are designed to feel, true feeling, are there to put the passion back into life. So when you become more present and get out of that thought stream, your life is so vibrant. It's much richer. It's more beautiful. It's more alive. It's more enjoyable. And you've basically come home. You've come home to the present moment. And a deep knowing inside of you understands this. And that's when you extricate yourself from wanting to know what's going to happen, which results in worry and fear, etc. So being present in your senses, your five senses, is wonderful and very pleasurable. And if you stay there long enough, meaning your mind doesn't take you to the next, mental story pretty quickly, and you lose contact with your sensory experience, the true reality, you can extricate yourself from that world of duality, of back and forth and what ifs and oh no, and it's amazing how when you allow the symbolism of Pluto trine Mars to help you experience being in your body, being present, and even if it's just for a few seconds. But for that to happen, you really have to crave the experience of being present more than the experience of thinking your way through life. And, we're not raised to crave presence. I mean, that's not part of our cultural experience. So for most of us. So in other words, as usual, it's your choice. If you want to remain engaged in your mind, you make that decision, or you decide not to. And once you see that your thoughts are the root of suffering in your life, you're much more motivated to get relief from that suffering, right? But it takes patience, and it takes a deep longing for presence so that you can remove yourself from the reliance of your mind making all your decisions and letting you know how you feel, which again is your thoughts spinning stories that you're feeling thin, believe, right? So it takes replacing thinking with something else, right? It's not like you can just take away thoughts. You need to replace it. And that is the sensory body awareness. The sensory awareness and the body awareness, very much epitomized by Mars trine Pluto. So think about it. Pluto is currently in Capricorn. Mars is currently in Taurus. Those are two earth signs. That is physical life on earth. So this sensory awareness, this body awareness is being made real by the very signs that this trine is taking place in. And this involves all parts of your life. Capricorn ruling how you show up in the world, meaning your mission, your career. Taurus ruling sensory, sensual experience, being grounded, having pleasure in your life. So your senses are the gateway to presence. That's how you extricate yourself from your mind. And when something like a sound, a sensation, a taste, a smell, a gorgeous visual captures your attention, your mind actually stops. Your thoughts stop. It's impossible to be fully engaged in your senses and to be thinking in thought at the same time. You're either doing one or the other, and that's the key. So this is your way out. So it's your choice to be enticed by your mind's virtual reality or actual reality, which is primarily a sensory experience. So this will help to bring you out of your head and into your body, to ground you. And the potential for presence is great when you do that. So to give you an example, I'm a musician, as you probably know, and being wrapped up in something like beautiful music, that's using your auditory perception, your auditory sensory perception. This immediately takes you out of your mind, as does a visual, like a beautiful sunrise or sunset. So beautiful sounds, beautiful sights can instantly bring you into presence. And when you stay long enough in that sensory experience, then you have found the key. Plus, it's very pleasant. These sensory experiences are pleasant. They're pleasurable. They're lovely. So, and I'm a musician, so I'm a little biased, but I think hearing is the sense that is the most powerful one in terms of becoming present. Hearing or listening, right? Because even when sounds are absent, you have the ability to listen to the silence. And so see if you can really hone in on this beautiful opportunity with Uranus sextile Sun giving you the freedom to explore other ways of being, the inspiration of Uranus coming through, the sun shining the light, right? And then the sensory experience of Pluto trine Mars. When you are in your senses, you are also in your body, and you are grounded, you are connected, you are literally grounded to earth and connected to the divine. So you are an antenna, you are a vessel, you are not an ego at all, you are not in the hamster wheel of fake, you are not perpetuating the illusion anymore, right? Which is the hamster wheel of your thoughts. So see if you can use this beautiful moment that we're in this week to rediscover or dive more deeply into being present in a sensual way. And you'll see, you'll set yourself free, you'll lighten up your life. And it's just a beautiful invitation by the divine, by your soul, to say, hey, experience this incredible planet, right? Look around, listen, touch, feel, taste, be there, enjoy. And you'll see, wow, that will take you away from all the worries and fears and the craziness that's around, right? It's beautiful, it's wonderful, and it'll also connect you immediately with all the relationships that you have because you're listening. You're looking at them. You're feeling, you're smelling, you're sensing, you're just there. So I hope you have a gorgeous week. And remember, your own star code can be discovered at starcodeclass.com, a free masterclass I created for you. You just need to know your birthday, your birth certificate name, and if you have it, your birth time and birthplace. And there's a handout, and you get to just see the beautiful code that you were born with that gives you so much insight into what you're here to do, your life purpose, your destiny. You can learn about the people in your life as well so that you can be in compassion around them, because everybody has, of course, their own unique journey. Very Aquarian, right? So enjoy your week and have just a beautiful time exploring those senses, being in touch with who you are on Earth. This is your gateway to the divine. So enjoy, and I will see you in next week's Star Codes podcast. Lots of love.